money, then I don't accept. Something like this. Daytime better come correct. They ain't playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Like this. I took it. She said we should hook up the boyfriend and booger. Don't know me, then look up. I'm being the clouds. Pull full of Henny, I drink and I drown. Daytime better come correct. Ain't playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Something like this. Daytime better come correct. Ain't playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity.
And we are live. Welcome to week 2 of the Quack and Smite League. I am Raptor.exe. I'm going to be your cameraman. Your casters are Red Sniper and Hercules. Say hi, guys.
I am Raptor.exe.
Well, hello there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 2. We have a good matchup tonight. This one's going to be a fun one. Boony Gang taking on All In, just absolutely fighting tooth and nail last week. Boony having a little bit easier time, but man, that was just the 2 good games last week. As we're starting off with picks and bans right now, Boony Gang banning out the Set and the Scylla taken off the table by All In. Second ban's coming in, that's the Nuwa. Waiting for All Ins here, that's going to be Donzaburo. Goodbye, ADC. Alright, let's see what Boony wants to counter with here. Interesting so far. Not too out of the ordinary. Nuwa Set very strong right now. Donza and Scylla also very much mid lane presence and duo lane presence right now. As the King Arthur taken off the table, and the last band's going to be the Apollo.
Definitely let the bands get coming out of All In. They're trying to target Chino a good bit. If you guys didn't see it last week, I believe it was, Chino was putting on a freaking clinic. I think it was with the Donzaburo.
Nemesis.
I think it was. It's either that or the Cernunos. He went like 13-1.
Achilles.
It was just absolutely ridiculous.
It was a phenomenal performance. I do remember that one. As first pick is the Guan Yu, responded with by the Nemesis and Achilles. So Achilles, very interesting. That is a great pick, I think, into the Guan Yu with the Execute. Again, Guan has that sustain. Again, we keep talking about the Season 8, out of combat nerf, but the Achilles actually isn't too bad into the Guan Yu, as Cupid is going to be picked up by Boony Gang, as well as the Raijin in the mid lane.
Yeah, I do like the Achilles pick into the Guan Yu because you might not be able to kill him like 100 to 0 him, but you may be able to get him within that threshold for the execute with just to get enough of that of him into that execute threshold and finish him off. So I definitely like that. And you can also stun him out of his Talon Assault. So definitely enjoy that out of Sub Killer Gut going into the solo lane.
Very much so. As the Sobek being picked up for the support, and looks like we're gonna have a jungle band. That's the Thanatos taken off the table, as well as the Giannis. The Giannis very good right now, allowing the team to be able to maneuver, popping up out of the walls, just being a general nuisance out of the mid lane, and Ymir getting banned as well. That wall putting a damper on a lot of team fights, separating and splitting teams. And then the Anhur going to be the last ban for Boony Gang.
Yeah, the Ymir ban is definitely a target ban on Rapid. That's one of his big comfort picks that he likes to go on. He's got many hours on Ymir, and he can definitely punish you with that god with the best of them.
And it's very, very effective, especially right now. The amount of CC that Ymir can put out as the Heimdall getting picked up for all in. That one is a very interesting pick into the Cupid. Heimdall, again, his basic attacks tend to hit a little harder. Really going to be able to do some poke damage onto this Cupid. Now, doesn't necessarily have the escape that the Cupid will punish, but still a very effective pick. And again, no Anhur because that was banned out, as Artio going to be hovered, and
Artio.
let's see, yep, that is going to be locked in. So that is an Artio pick, as well as the Fenrir. So we're going to see Fenrir in the jungle, Artio in support with a Raijin mid lane, and a Cupid ADC. Very interesting setup here. As we look for our last pick here by All In.
I do like that Fenrir pick into the Heimdall. I think with they have three guys so far that can just really all in dive you with the Artio, Fenrir, and Guan Yu. So if Joe is not careful with his positioning, he could be caught out really easy.
Discordia.
We are looking for a mid laner here, and it's going to be the Discordia showing up here for All In. That's an interesting pickup here, as Discordia, she's really good in a team fight, and if you look at it, the all-in team fighting comp, you get the pick by the Sobek, the Achilles can do the poke, gets the execute, Heimdall sitting in the back. As long as Heimdall is able to just free cast those, I shouldn't say free cast, but if he can just smack those autos into the opposing team, Discordia can really disrupt the enemy team in a team fight, and of course Nemesis with the flank. I really like All-In's comp on a front-to-back team fight.
Yeah, but we also need to look on the other side. Any has Raijin, and he's been proven to just absolutely smack people with Raijin. And he always had he's always had really good games on the Raijin, and he is not afraid to just keep picking Raijin until they ban it.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous to see that Raijin again. I think it was last week. He absolutely was just destroying people left, right, and center on that Raijin. It's almost crazy to see what he's able to do on that god. And to think, if you throw him on a Scylla or you throw him on a Nuwa, how much more damage he could do too.
will actually be my first time watching sub killer on Achilles, so which is kind of ironic. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm looking for sub killer especially to be a little more aggressive. Actually, he needs to have that poke. If he doesn't have the poke, he's not going to be able to be as effective into this Guan Yu. Now, Guan might want that because he's got the sustain of his heal, but that Achilles is going to be proactive. He needs to be proactive, I should say, in this part of the game.
I just realized that's rapid Carnation on the Guan, so that's going to be a Guan Yu support with a RDO solo.
Yeah, okay, that changes things up a little bit.
That changes things up a good bit. I don't mind the Guan Yu into the Sobek because
No, I don't either.
because the Guan Yu is like, oh, you want to pluck me? That's fine.
Yeah. He's got a little bit more of escape with that dash. He's got he definitely can do enough damage. He can stack up the wave quite effectively. But yeah, that is pretty interesting to see how that would happen.
Yeah.
I'm
and
looking forward to this one.
Yeah, and the Sobek won't be able to knock up the Guan Yu out of his talent assault. So his only options are to either to pluck him out of it, or he's just gonna have to wait.
We got some pressure already here in the duo lane. Again, I'm looking for some good things to happen between this duo lane as Fenrir coming in. Didn't look like he picked that one up, though. Looks like it's going to be secured by the Boony Gang side of Coda and MMR. Very, very interesting this start here. They are definitely looking for efficiency of farm. As the Disco does get one of those harpies. And again, taking a look around the map, it's not a whole lot going on as Boomy does get a little low here, but he's going to heal right back up in the solo lane. And again, Rapid getting close. Good heart bomb from the Cupid there to get a good stun, help out his Guan. As that's going to be first blood. Good pick by dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO blood for Boony Gang.
No, that's all in. dOOOOOOOOOO's all in.
Oh, sorry, that is dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO But yeah, that was a great pickup by dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO looking at the names and I'm recognizing the names and going, wait a second, something ain't exactly right there. Now I know why. Okay.
Yeah. And Jack also went back in to pluck the Cupid and got his beads along with it. So you couldn't ask for too much of a better trade out.
Yep. So as we get the graphics switched around here, we do have him on the right-hand side now, Rectal. Thank you so much. Ooh, good tail whip by the Sobek, the dash in by the Cupid, but nothing gonna come from it. He decides to back off. Just a little bit of perceived pressure there, but Heimdall's gonna be able to take care of that, not a problem, as he is going to have the sword up in the air, and let's see if he times it right. Nope. That
Not
is
quite.
still going to be... Ooh. It is going
He'll
to be...
get it.
Ooh.
And the pluck should secure that kill onto the Guan Yu.
Yep, that Guan is just... He's like... Oh... That was a small comedy of errors there, as we did have a solo kill over in the solo lane. I should say a 1v1 kill over in the solo lane as Subkiller does get the kill onto Boomy over there, the RDO. But yeah, that was an interesting dive happening over in the duo lane there. As the Guan just getting caught out and going, well, I'm gonna die anyways. I may as well make it interesting. Speaking of dying anyways, there goes Chino, and Bonsai will pick up another kill. That is a crazy, crazy amount of things happening there. A 2-0-1 Sobek as Nimi's gonna go down. Coda playing that perfectly on the disco, and he is going to be discoing on the dance floor as he picks up his first kill in the mid lane. Good poke out by the Achilles, and that's going to force Boomy to back off. This is something I was not planning on. I thought this was going to be a much closer early game, but going all in and going 5-0 to start this best of 3 contest.
This has turned out to be a very surprising start. I didn't think that 5 minutes we were going to be 5-0 up, especially with enemy falling within the first 5 minutes. I didn't think that Coda was going to be able to pick him.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I was planning on, especially knowing how well Nimi plays that Raijin and how he has been doing so far this season. As RDO is going to get hit back and forth, but nothing really happening there. Ooh, the Nemesis is going to be able to get out of that. As Achilles doing some poke to the Fenrir, but nothing's going to come from it. And a good poke out, but no dive. Nothing going for all in, and they are going to back away and reset into the laning phase.
So this is something. Sorry, I just wanted to say this is something I wanted to ask you about. How do you guys feel about the Cowl versus Death's Toll? I've seen Death's Toll come into favor a lot lately for hunters, and Cowl sort of fall out of favor as Death's Toll did. I was kind of curious what your guys' position was.
So, it just really, I think. Sorry, can I go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I honestly think it just depends on your philosophy. If you're really committed to attack speed, then I think Hunter's Cowl is definitely your go-to. But if you're really wanting to put up the sustain and make sure that you never run out of mana ever, also, then Death's Toll is just something that is just really awesome right now. Personal opinion.
Yeah, as an ADC personally, I really like Death's Toll as opposed to Cowl. Cowl later on becomes a very strong team fighting weapon, especially if you have an attack speed based hunter. If you do not, Death's Toll. Let me say that correctly. Cowl is very good if you have an attack speed based hunter. As Bonsai getting hit there, but he is going to be able to back away with the use of the crystal. Very close there by the Cupid. Chino punishing a little bit, but not being able to get the kill onto BonzaiJoe. Ooh, good pickup by Nemesis. She is going to go on the Fenrir, and no! The leap out by the puppy is going to save that dog's life. Not a cat, so no 9 lives there, but the dog will have his due. Sobek rushing in, but no pick there, and he is going to be able to back away as Blue looking like it's just going to be left there. They were trying to secure that invade, and they're going to try it again. This time it does look like they are going to pick it up, and that will be going over to the Achilles. But going back to what I was saying previously is maybe we'll have a dive here. We'll see what happens. But as I was saying previously, the Cowl is a very good team fighting item if you need pure attack speed. The Death's Toll is great for sustain, especially in early game and getting that early pressure in lane. But it also becomes a very effective tool later on if you have something that is more of an ability-based hunter. And you kind of see that here as dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO I should say.
He got a little aggressive.
Yeah, he definitely did. But Death's Toll there, as it builds later on, it is very, very effective, and I believe it does give you pen. I believe the final form does give you pen at the end of it, just to give you that little bump up for that extra late game, whereas Cal does not. So again,
Which item again?
Death's Toll.
I don't think it gives you pen.
Let me double check here.
Yeah, so you can double check on that.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong on that one, but maybe that's just me in the back of my mind because I know I can mess that up. As it looks like Boony Gang is going to be picking up Gold Fury, though, or sorry, not Gold Fury, Greater Scorpion, and they will have the enhanced buffs first of all in this game. As they are able to get that first pick, they are going to translate it into that Greater Scorpion, and the pressure coming in as Fenrir on the backside. Is he going to be able to get a pick here on a BonzaiJoe? The ult comes out by Chino, and that is going to be a beautiful heart bomb landed as good kill potential happens. But that is going to be the ult used by the Heimdall, and he's going to be able to use the crystal to get out there. Good grief, BonzaiJoe again, getting out of it by the skin of his teeth. That Heimdall just being able to survive.
Yeah, I can say from personal experiences, I did play him last week. That's not a good feeling when a Heimdall just barely gets away from a Cupid. Because this is the exact same matchup I played last weekend against Bonsai.
Yeah.
Fenrir ult will just pick him up.
Yep, and there goes the NMR bye-bye as Nemesis. Going to be the second kill here for Boony. And, oh, that is a great pickup as Appendix will go down. And there goes Olive as well, Rapid Carnation, down by the Achilles. And that is going to be a 2-for-1 ultimately. And they are going to get the invade. Nope. They were looking for an invade on the red, but the red is not up right now.
Oh no, that's a four-man gank.
Oh,
that's a four-man
no,
gank.
Chino.
Oh no, Chino.
Goodbye. See you later. Is he going to be able to survive this? The stun comes out, the disco hit, and goodbye. See you later. Cupid headed for those clouds once again.
As Coda would say, we're big gaming.
Yep.
We're
yeah,
big
they
gaming.
are.
Well, he is in this game, so he's definitely saying that in comms.
Yeah. That was definitely guys. We're gaming.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at something else. No, it is. So, taking a look at the Death's Toll.
Yes.
If you go into Death's Embrace, you do get plus 200 health.
Okay.
Plus, you get a 3% health and mana on basic attack.
Yes.
And the Death's Temper will also give you 100 health, but then plus 30% attack speed to help counter the cowl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it is a penalty on the health, and it is a penalty on the on your overall physical power, but it is a bonus to a 30% attack speed. So
okay, well, definitely noted there.
yeah. So you can build it one of two ways depending on what you have. And again, if you're building something like Oboe, or if you're building like an Executioner or something like that, you might not need the extra attack speed. But if you're not building that, you want to build something a little bit more crit heavy, especially in today's builds where crit's becoming a little bit more popular. You may want to build that attack speed on the back end there by upgrading the starter item.
You know what the biggest surprise is to me this game so far? NMR is playing Nemesis, and he's 0-1-1 at the 13-minute marker.
Now
it's either that like Subkiller has been able to do all of the work by himself, and Bonsai has not really needed a thing. He hasn't ganked duo once. He's literally just been farming this entire time and engaging when he has to.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good thing here for All In, as Subkiller is being able to step up and be very, very effective as that Achilles, as the ultimate's going to come out by the Fenrir. He is going to try and pick up the Disco, but Disco's going to be able to get away. And as the taiko drums come out, and that is going to be a kill. And Nimi is going to pick up his first kill in this game, but he is going to get caught out, and that is going to be one dead Raijin. Goodbye, see you later. But that is going to be NMR now picked up on the Nemesis. The Sobek getting dove under tower, and that is going to be one dead Dial. Goodbye, dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO
turnaround fight for the Boony Gang. Like, that is the most ideal situation you could pretty much have at this point. It's like, yeah, they get enemy, but you got dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO
And to be honest, when you look at it, I mean, Coda and Enemy are exactly the same in level. The big difference is your jungler. At that point, Shy was at 12, as Chino's going to go down again, but there goes Appendix onto BonzaiJoe. It's going to be a 1-for-1. The ult's going to be used by the Fenrir, and the Achilles is going to be able to get out without an issue. But Raijin on the back side. Here comes Enemy, as Achilles might be staying over. The execute is going to happen onto the Fenrir, and he's going to be able to try and dash and the flash, the blink away. And that is going to be Achilles safe and sound, picking up 2 for the loss of just BonzaiJoe. And looks like Pyro is going to go down by All In without a contest.
Yeah, they recognize that two people are on duo side, and so they make that a free Pyro call.
What I was going to say is the big pickup in that last fight that went 3-for-1 is NMR is actually 2 levels up onto the Fenrir. Now, Fenrir is a 3-2-3, but only level 13 and was level 12 at the time, level 14 for the Nemesis. So trying to bring those levels closer together as we progress on into more of the late game, gonna be very interesting here, as we're starting to get a little bit more parity in kills, 12-6. It was a little bit more lopsided earlier. But I'm looking to see what's going to happen as the hunters are going to come a little more into play now, as the roams are going to begin. Solo lanes are already starting to roam. Hunters are kind of doing their own thing a little bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen when Chino and Bonsai get into the team fights.
I've never really understood how somebody could be 0-2 over somebody that's 3-2-3 and still be 2 levels up. I've just never understood that.
Achilles, the pathing over there, diving under the tower. He is going to get the execute onto Enemy, but that is going to be Subkiller going down as well. Enemy is going to pick up that kill, and that's going to be the shutdown onto the Achilles. Subkiller getting killed for the first time. Boomy is going to go down now as Coda picks up the kill, and here comes the Nemesis on the back end. She's going to hit the Guan Yu, but dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO 3-4-1 in favor of All In. 15-7 our kills. About a 6K goal difference, of closer to about 5,500 right now. And that's going to be the Oracles, and now a Primal Fury dropped in favor of All In. This has been it was looking much more secure for All In early in the game. Then Boony Gang made some good fights coming back into this thing, and now it looks like All In has finally caught their stride again, as they are able to pick up another tower. Just taking a look at towers across the board right now, 2 towers picked up in favor of All In, 1 only in favor of Boony Gang. As we look at the gold difference, you see how it has wavered a little bit, but it is squarely, solidly in favor of All In right now, and a 6K gold difference and 6,500 XP gold difference. Oh no, the Fenrir Appendix getting caught out again, and that Subkiller picking up another kill. 6, 1, and 4 on this Achilles. Good grief, man. Stop feeding that god.
I do commend Rapid though. He completely saw Fenrir being hounded by 3 people, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to do anything to save him, and he was he what's the word I'm looking for? Like he had enough wisdom to basically say there's nothing I could do for him. I gotta see you later.
Yep. That he kind of left him up to his own devices. He realized that it's better to just give over 1 kill than to give over 2 trying to save someone that just can't be saved. So the sacrifice play was okay in that sense. Cupid ult coming out, the Heimdall ult also coming out as BonzaiJoe does fall during this team fight. It does extend a little bit more as we do have the enemy Thunder coming down, and Shy Appendix is going to pick up NMR once again. The execute going to miss onto the Guan Yu. A good pluck, though, by the Sobek. dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO falls. Another, oh, that Cupid is so low, but he's going to be able to heal up as he's using the red buff here to get his heal back up, or his heal back on. The Achilles fighting 4-on-1. That sub, are you kidding me? And he's just sitting there taking it. As finally the leap comes out, the stun is going to happen. The tail whip by Sobek.
Oh,
Subkiller is still going to
no.
pick up Chino, and now they're going to finally disengage. Are you joking? Has Heimdall...
They're not going to
who did
disengage.
die
Heimdall
during the
just...
beginning of the fight is now back into it. But, ooh, that Artio is going to get collapsed on by 3. The Thunder by Raijin. He's going to have the Taiko drums. That's going to be 2 kills. BonzaiJoe and Subkiller going down. And there goes dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO actually, it was more like a 5-for-1.
It was a
As-
6-for-1 technically because Bonsai died twice.
That's
And
right. That's so weird.
If I was
Chino
them,
does fall. That was
If-
such a long fight.
if I was them, I would have gone straight to fire. It was a 4v2.
Yep.
They could have forced fire, and like what is Coda and NMR gonna do?
Not only was it 4v2, but it was 4v2, and Chino just popped up. So
Yeah.
you're technically now 5-on-2, and
Yeah.
you're pushing the mid lane. So I gotta agree with you on that. Okay, let's do fire, let's do pyro, let's get some objectives onto this board, and then move off. As now the respawns have happened, Boomy is a little low on this RDO, but he's going to have plenty of time and distance to back. As all the objectives still on the board. As Pyro's going to get started up by this Nemesis, this is something that is a little interesting for me. Nemesis at level 19 still has a level lead onto this Fenrir, as Pyro is going to go down, but it's 1, 3, and 5 on a Nem, and 5, 3, and 6 on a Fenrir. That just, it's a little bit of a head scratcher for me. And not only that, but the Nemesis is the first one to hit level 20 in this game. It just goes to show you how effective NMR is on his clear, on the efficiency of his farm. Even though he's not doing quite well in the kills department, or anything else for that matter. But he is very effective on his farm. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to engage in the team fights, he doesn't have the best engage tool. He does have the ult if he can get it off on the right person. But again, that's not a CC, that's not an ability that's going to make the other team go, I have to fight you here. Now, as wards are getting placed, the zone is going to be established here for all in. I don't think they can let this Oni Fury go down without a fight.
No, I agree with you. Unless
Fields of Love coming out, the ultimate also by the Nemesis in there, and here's our team fight. As the Disco ult also going to be thrown out onto Chino. And that is going to be an execution onto Boomy. The RDO finally falls. That is a big target gone. So is the Fenrir. That is a 2-for-0 to start. Chino also going to go down. That is 3-for-0. And now the Guan Yu being tossed around between 4 of them. And that's going to be a clear deicide. As a goodbye, see you later, have some gray screen, and we'll see you in 40 seconds. And that's going to be an Oni Fury straight all in.
And they're
Now-
going straight to fire.
Yeah, they've got a dash. This has got to be a dash going over to fire. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Achilles does go back, buy up, Sub is going to buy up, and then he is going to head out as well, as he is now a Bluestone Pendant upgrade away from a full build. That is scary on that Achilles.
Yeah, he's absolutely playing it out of his mind. So he's doing really well this game.
Yep. And that is a Fire Giant now for all in. It's going to give them a great capability to siege here. They have Oni Fury and they have Fire Giant buff right now. So this is going to be a great opportunity for them to pick up maybe a tier 2, depending on what Boony wants to fight for here, as they're going to try and clear up as much farm as they possibly can. As look at that gold difference, and look at that XP difference, that spike after the team fight. And gold difference there, 8,200 right now. That is insane, because when you think about it, an 8,100, 8,200 gold difference, that's almost 3 full items.
Yeah, but
Three to four
where
items,
the gold is right now is really in the it's in the solo laner, it's in the jungler, and that's really it. Actually,
I mean,
let's look at net worth for it really quick.
Yeah, that's
net worth.
2K. So Nimi's going to go down. NMR is going to pick that up on the Nemesis, and that is going to be a dash in, a dive under Phoenix, and that's going to be an execute onto Olive. Again, the sustain isn't there when he can just go right through and drop you as fast as he possibly wants to. As Chino is going to get hit again, but he is going to actually survive a little bit longer, but that is going to be a double kill, and that is
that's game.
Oh, that is a Phoenix down. They've got to do this. This has to be. Inimi is going to be the first one up with 20 seconds left to go, but that Titan is already down halfway to health, and that's going to be all she wrote. Goodbye. Deicide. See you later. All in with game number 1 against Boony Gang. Wow. That one was an interesting fight. Back and forth at various points, but ultimately the snowball just got out of control.
It really did. Just the key to that victory was just shutting down Chino. If you don't let Chino get big early, you don't give him a chance to basically work his magic.
And that wasn't just a shutdown. That was punishment. Chino went 0-7-3. They ganged up on him. They 4-man ganked him. They punished him at every turn they possibly could. And he did earn third place in gold. I mean, he was just at about 12K, but he had no effect on that game. To be completely honest, I did not see any effect that Chino had on that game, other than every so often he put out a Fields of Love. He was able to try and, keep the dashes down to help peel for some of his team, but the damage just wasn't there. 15K player damage, second on his team to Inimi, but again, no kills secured. Now, Shy there, 5, 5, and 6, I thought he played really well on that Fenrir when he could get those picks, when he could pull people off, but All In did a very good job of not allowing those picks to happen.
Yeah, Any and Shy we're keeping them in the game big time, and it was just unfortunately Achilles took at least 3 4v1 fights, and they were all like at least 3 levels down to him, and it's just like this. It feels like a lost cause at some point.
That is one tanky Achilles, and it was just time and time and time again. I don't know what you could have done. Honestly, I'm looking at this fight and I'm scratching my head going, okay, Subkiller can't get the Achilles again, but what are you going to give him?
Yeah. He's got too many picks as is.
Yeah, and he is at 10, 2, and 9. 10. Let me repeat that. 10, 2, and 9 on an Achilles.
That's
Uh,
gross.
that is
gross.
disgusting. Uh, I I'm gonna have to give him my MVP for game one. I have to,
Yeah.
because without that snowball coming out of the solo lane, they don't win this game. Olan does not win that game. Dutma
Yeah.
had some great picks. I mean, he does have 16 assists. BonzaiJoe 3, 3, and 13. He was very effective on the back end, but Subkiller securing the kills, getting the damage, being the tank, taking the 4-on-1s, the 3-on-1s, extending those fights out so that he could get multiple executes off. Uh, I got to give it to him.
And he only missed like what, one execute?
1 or 2 all game.
Yeah. Like easy.
Yeah. Well,
And-
that's it for game number 1.
Well, I'm just kind of curious before we send it to an intermission real quick. What would you guys change if you are Boony Gang? What would you change to come back for game 2?
Sit on top of Subkiller all game. Sit on him. Do whatever you can to not let him get that big lead. I don't care. I don't care if like you're who's if you're shy, you basically gank him, make it look like you're leaving, let him come back out, gank him again. Just sit on top of him. Don't let him get all this space to farm and have solo trade-offs with Boomy, because unfortunately Boomy is not going to win that 1v1. He's just not, and you just have to sit on top of Subkiller and just do whatever you can.
I know this is going to be weird, but I think it's going to take 2 things. Subkiller's very good. No matter what god he picks, he's going to be very good. And I do agree with you that Shy needs to camp that lane a little more, but I think he's going to need help with that, and I would put Enemy on a Giannis, something that he's going to be able to influence the entire map on. Now, don't get me wrong, Raijin is excellent for having that ability to absolutely obliterate things in front of him, but he's not able to maneuver, as big as the map is now in Season 8, he's not able to maneuver from the solo lane to the duo lane as much as he needs to, and Enemy being that key factor on Boony Gang, he has to be able to help out against Subkiller into a 3-man gank.
Well, let's not forget.
I want to see Enemy. I want to see Enemy. I want to see him rotate more in that direction.
Well, let's not forget that Enemy picked Raijin third, and then they banned Yanis in their second phase. So Enemy picked the Raijin over the Yanis, and then Boony Gang bans the Yanis themselves. So they obviously don't. I don't want to say don't respect the Yanis pick, but they don't prioritize it. Obviously.
Yeah, and I can understand that. And I don't know if that maybe is because Enemy isn't the most comfortable on it, but I would say the question that I have is if you're going to pick the Raijin, and you're going to funnel through the Raijin, because if you're looking at it right now, he had the most player damage. He was 4, 5, and 7. He was all over the map trying to make things happen, along with Shy. I need that synergy to be even better in this second game. That's what it's going to take to shut down Sub and to prevent dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO for him. I would say get rid of the Sobek, and to be honest, anything that would allow him to separate one person out to turn those 5v5 team fights into a 4v5 or a 3v4, something like that. You just can't do that. You can't do that with dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO small little god pool with your bands and force him to play something more team fight oriented, like maybe a Ganesh. I would even say I would rather see him on a Emoja than the Sobek again.
Hey guys, I gotta skip out because I gotta get some sleep here.
Yep. So all good, Herc. All good.
Yep.
So with that being said, we are going to go to a small break, and then we will be back for game number 2. Please stick around, and I hope that you are enjoying this. I know that I enjoyed that game 1. I'm sure that Herc and Red enjoyed game 1. We got game 2 and possibly a game 3 on the way. So stay tuned.
Here we are, a million stars floating over our heads. Beating hearts, falling apart, staying up to forget. But baby, we'll fall. We all go dancing down. When paradise is found, we're shaking up the ground. 'Cause there ain't no stopping now.
They're going in.
All right, and we are back with game 2 of the set 1. I'm sorry, I couldn't find my words. Set 1 of week 2 of the Quack and Smite League.
Yep, I am here, Red Sniper 23, along with Simple Fate and Raptor. Raptor is going to be our cameraman slash time to time pop in and let us know what's going on. He is the man behind the scenes. I now have my wonderful, awesome, beautiful color commentator, Simple Fate, with me as we get into picks and bans here, all in starting out with the, are you kidding me, 2 ADC bans right off the bat. We've got a Donza and an Apollo taken off the table, and there's that Sobek taken away along with the set. Oh, boy.
I wouldn't be surprised to see an early Raijin pick up here from the Boony squad
I agree,
just-
as Scylla's gone too.
to keep any on his god.
And we got a new also as our
Nemesis.
ban, our last ban by Boony Gang. And interesting, the Nemesis instantly being picked up by All In as a first pick. Now, is that something to keep it away from Shy Appendix? Or, because to be honest, I don't think that NMR did all that effectively onto the Nemesis.
I think it's just what's meta right now. I don't think that's one of Shy's big gods. I believe he's a Thanatos Rat player.
Okay.
But I think it's just a meta pick right now, so they're just keeping it to keep it.
Okay, as the Giannis being hovered right now, are they just toying with me? Is that what's going on? Somebody told them that, you know, I said that, and now they're toying with me?
Very possible. Very, very possible. But Giannis is still very strong. He is, I don't think he's fell off.
I don't think
You
so
get-
either. And his mobility coupled with that shotgun effect is going to be very effective. And there it is! And there's the emoji pick as well. That is awesome. The Giannis being locked in and Shy. Oh man, I'm
Yemoja.
loving this. I'm absolutely loving this.
The big point of
King
view right
Arthur.
here. What got let through is
Yeah.
Subkiller's King
Some
Arthur.
Killer's King Arthur.
Sub's
Of
main
course.
god
Yeah, I
that
can't
he
keep up
runs
with you
at
guys.
people with.
I can't keep up with you guys. Can you slow down, please? Come casting over
Yeah.
who gets picked.
Oh, I was
Sorry
just going.
about
I
that,
was
but
going
yeah,
off
I
of
just-
red screen.
Yeah. No, that's my fault, but
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
man,
you're
it's-
screaming Yemoja got picked, Yemoja got picked, and I'm still typing in Yanis.
oh man, sorry about that. But yeah, so Giannis Yemoja, we're double locked there. And I remember what I said, you know.
Are you caught up yet?
I need to stop. I just need to stop, you know, calling these things out because now they're just trying to prove me wrong. Oh, as Persephone getting locked in here for All In, a very strong mid lane god. Now, is Inimi gonna take the Raijin into a Persephone?
I think he's got Giannis here, and that's gonna be Shy's stand. Or wait, hold on. Are we caught up yet?
Okay, now you're good. Now you're good.
Okay.
You might as well just look on my screen so that you know if I'm
Yeah,
caught
I
up. or
can't.
not.
I
That's what
can't
we're
watch
gonna do.
both at once. I can't watch both at once.
Well, I'm streaming the actual stream. You might as well watch that.
Okay. I will. I
Thanatos
will
is going to
do
be
it.
picked up for Boony Gang. They're going to start off the bans with the Cupid ban. That one is interesting, as Donza and Apollo already taken off the table by All In, but Cupid taken away by Boony Gang, limiting even further BonzaiJoe's god pool here, as that's a Heimdall and the Ymir, and that's the Guan Yu as well. Very interesting, as we see some of the key players of the first game being banned out in the last bans here. As Boony's going to have first pick of the second round here, and let's see what they're going to have. They need an ADC, and I'm guessing a solo laner maybe, as Rama's going to be locked in. That one, I want to see what Chino does on Rama. I've not seen him play Rama before, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it very much. As that's a Chernobog. Oh, and an Athena. Okay.
That's a nasty combo.
That is a very nasty combo. Especially Athena's going to get stronger, especially when they decide they are going to add the damage onto her taunt. I'm so upset about that, but don't quote me. But
Jungle Athena's gonna be OP again.
yeah. So Chernobog Athena against a Rama Cthulhu, I'm assuming. That oh man. I am so torn between a couple of things right here. Because I'm loving the King Arthur Athena, Persephone free casting, Chernobog out of nowhere, Nemesis flanking. I like the picks by All In. I like their draft. But Boony Gang, all of the issues that they had in game number 1 is exactly what they addressed with the draft from game number 2.
So Boony actually picked up a couple comfort picks here regarding that. Well, Eve Rama is a comfort pick for Chino. I've seen him play a couple times. Thanatos is Shy's, I would say, best jungler. So that's going to be a comfort pick for him. So they're trying to stick it to they're trying to get them out there. Now they took the Heimdall away from Bonsai. That's his big pick so far this season. I'd like to see. I'm going to like to see what he does on the Chernobog here.
Yeah, I've seen Chernobog played very effectively in some other games, in some scrims. I haven't seen it played by Bonsai, but I've seen it played by other very high-level ADCs, carries. And if you are on target, if you are effective and timely in your abilities, that Chernobog is going to be absolutely a disaster for Boony Gang to deal with. Now, again, whether or not he's effective on it, I want to see what Bonsai's going to do. Because man, this one's going to be fun. I can't, even just looking at the draft order myself, I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can't tell you who's going to win this one because I'm just looking forward to it. It just looks so much fun.
I got a prediction just based off of experience of playing with the players and what they have a lot of meta gods on All Inside, along with comfort pick gods. King Arthur on sub or K main, as we'll just call Mr. One Trick.
Yeah, right.
It's his god. That's his god.
Yeah.
And they got Nim. So it's going to be, and Nim's a good counter to Cthulhu. So it's going to be a rough solo matchup for that Cthulhu. And it's going to also be a rough duo matchup for the Rama.
Well, as Animi's going to get the kill in the mid lane, that's that level 2 gank. Because again, King Arthur started on his blue buff, went instantly into lane, and that is a start that we have seen starting to pick up some steam here, where the solo laner starts on his own blue buff, gets his blue buffs, and then goes right into lane, where the jungler will pick up his speed, pick up that one camp on the in his own jungle, and then head straight into mid lane and try and get the aggressive early gank, and it's effective this time. And we've got a Nemesis all the way over in duo lane trying to push against the Emoja and Rama of the Boony Gang. So very interesting to see that the focus has sort of shifted already in game number 2, as All In was trying to focus more around mid lane, more around solo lane early. Now, that third member, that flexible jungler, is headed over towards duo early in this one. Ooh, but the Thanatos going for an early Oracles here. And again, very effectively, doing it as well. Thanatos definitely has the power, even at level 2, to take out the Oracles, and he will get an early level 3 as well. Ooh, good stun. Very good stun by the Emoja onto the Chernobog. And that's gonna be a very good duo lane to try and fight against. I am looking forward to this. I just want to watch this. I want to watch the duo lane.
All right, just real quick. I'm not the only one who saw Thanatos freak out like that, right? Did you see
No,
Thanatos?
you're not the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of funny. Not gonna lie.
Going back to that level 1 gank, Inamar is actually known for that start. Like he very much enjoys doing it. He knows if I get this early gank, then I'm gonna put my mid laner way ahead. So he's doing that. He's making that mid laner miss waves. He's putting down enemy so that Coda can just free farm. That's his mindset going into that. He gets that early kill. That's my mid laner's one step up.
Mm-hmm. And again, Nemesis coming over, helping out the King Arthur, invading the blue buff. And that is just seeing how, and this is just, again, we're very, very early into this one, 3.5 minutes in, but the proactive play is not happening right now by Boony Gang. They are very much reactionary. The Thanatos seems to be kind of, for lack of a better term, chasing his tail a little bit. As, again, we're seeing the rotate coming over, the Emoja now coming over, and the Persephone just getting caught in a little bit. Thanatos trying to punish the Nemesis, but is not going to happen as the Persephone ult does come out and misses its target. But it's still going to be enough to scare off. Ooh, King Arthur getting a lot of damage done to him by this Cthulhu as the ult is popped. But it's not going to be effective as King Arthur is just going to heal up. He is down to half health, but there's not a lot of mana left on that Cthulhu to continue to box back and forth in the solo lane. As we have the supports now entering into the mid lane, leaving the ADCs on to their own devices. And here we go into our mid phase of this game. So far, 5 minutes in. Simple, what you looking forward to, and what do you think's going to happen here? Now as, King Arthur's coming in, and we now have the ult used by dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO away. Oh, the Emoja ult coming out as well. They are going to be able to escape a little bit. As the stun is still going to come out. The blue buff being picked up by the, I believe, by the King Arthur there.
It was by the King Arthur, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, the King Arthur just punishes again. Sub-killer is just doing sub-killer things.
Very much so. So what we've seen so far, the jungle presence alone. Okay, so NMR on the jungle, great jungler. He's taking the substantial lead that they already had just from the early kills, or the early kill, and he's just running with it. So he's invading. He's taking all their buffs off cooldown. They've already got a red. They've got 2 blues. They got another red just then picked up in mid. He's just taking the lead and running with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. As we do a peek over at the net worth real quick, and again, who is our master farmer? It is the Nemesis again with the highest net worth. And it looks like we're going to have a pause here.
Yes, it is a pause. It's not stasis
Yep.
mode. I'm not Neptune.
Yep.
But
So
it
we
is-
do have a pause trying to figure out what's going on right now. We will get back to you when we have that
Oh,
information.
and well, now we're back.
We're out of it already.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, I'm fine with that. Nice little quick pause there. We're back into it. But yeah, again, the Nemesis 4,100 gold in the net worth. Persephone right behind, the King Arthur just behind that, not more than 50 behind it. And as the Rama finally picking up a little bit more farm here in the duo lane, or I should say the ADC lane, because yeah, it's that's all it is. It's not really a duo lane once the supports leave.
So did you see that 4-man rotate over and right? Even though they didn't. Okay, so even though he didn't die, that's very bad for Boony. When they 4-man rotated and he didn't die, and they didn't commit, it was 4v1. They didn't commit. They were wasting so much time, so much farm. NMR's in the back lane just picking up farm.
And now they do end up picking up too. Subkiller and dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO And the Nemesis is going to pick up a little bit of damage, but on the backside, BonzaiJoe showing up with the ultimate, picking up the Cthulhu. Boomy is going to go down, and there goes Shy Appendix. Coda picking up another one as the Persephone. And so what was a 2 for 0 gets turned around, and it's a 2 for 2 now. And that is just this is another one of those things where Boony tries to be proactive, and All In says, fine, you can be proactive. We're going to be able to turn it on to you, though. And you're not going to be able to do anything that you want to do. Yes, you might get a pick. Yes, you might get a kill here or there. But you're not going to be able to be effective in an extended team fight. And so All In just does it all over again.
What I find really strange personally is that Cthulhu was last picked for Boony Gang when All In first picked the Nemesis. Nemesis is one of the better known hard counters to Cthulhu, and they picked Cthulhu not only into a King Arthur, but into a Nemesis.
I don't know the thought process behind that Cthulhu, and it kind of hurts my mind.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they were just going to a comfort pick for Boomy, or if that's what his god pool is. Maybe that was the most effective one for him to pick up at the time, as we do have a little bit of a rotate happening over towards the solo lane. There goes the Nem and the King Arthur trying to pick up something on this Cthulhu, who is pushed up. He is going to get dove under tower. The ultimate coming out by dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO ult used by the Giannis, the Emoji is going to be able to come over, but just there to pick up some farm, as they are not going to be able to get anything on the back side. And again, the Thanatos coming over, taking a swing, taking a whiff. A little bit of damage onto the Athena with the portal. Ooh, that was a big smack there by the Persephone onto the Thanatos. He's going to get hit on the backside by the Nemesis, but nothing's going to come from it. And NMR is just going to get out of dodge without any problems.
Persephone players that can play Persephone are one of the most nasty, disgusting things in the game of Smite.
Right?
Persephone is I would say it's one of the highest skill cap mages that are experienced right now. But a Persephone player that can pick up and play Persephone is absolutely game changing.
Yep, and ooh. So you do have a little bit of a 4-man stack in the mid lane here. But that is a 2-man rotate heading over. Ooh, is the Rama up a little bit too far? Let's see, is he going to get caught out? As the dashes come out, the King Arthur gets the stun. They're going under tower. Rama going to get hit. He's going to go up into the ult. The arrow's coming down, but he's just using that to stay alive at the time for the time being. As the Thanatos going to come down, he's going to actually miss the ult, and everybody's going to kind of back away slowly as no kills come, but some ultimates are expended. As Persephone is going to be able to do some damage onto the Giannis, and the portal is going to be used to get Enemy out of trouble. The invade happening on the purple very effectively as a 4-man rotate 4-man rotate comes out. just double checking my numbers there. And they are going to switch over to the Greater Scorpion and pick this one up without trouble. Ooh, the ultimate comes
The
out
Yanis
on
got
this.
it. The Yanis
He
got it.
He stole it. What a pick by a Nimmy. You can't time that thing, man. You just can't do
They
that.
had 0 wards. They had 0 idea they were even doing it. He just threw it out there and got it.
Oh, what in the
That was
world?
beautiful.
What in the world? Enemy, you can't do that to me, man. You just can't do that to me.
We're
As
seeing
Nemesis
the.
is going to come in. She is going to be able to stay out of the portal, I'm guessing. That
I
was a little bit
don't
weird there.
know what happened there. She looked like she was in it on my screen
Yeah.
at least.
I don't know if she was in it or not in it, but
When we
oh,
started,
man. As-
when we started
oh,
this
here we go.
game, when we started this game, I said Shy was a comfort pick on Thanatos. He's not looking too comfortable on his comfort pick.
No, he isn't. As Ultimate's coming out, Persephone is there. She gets the cage down, and that is going to be a kill both onto the Emoja and onto the Thanatos. That is a 2 for 0. And again, more kills picked up by All In. The Chernobog ult going to be used. That is going to be effective, and that is now a dive onto the Rama. The Javelin going to be missed by Athena. dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO Goodbye. See you later, Chernobog. And that is going to be a
Load.
kill for Chino. And that is the first kill for Chino. 1-0-0 in the duo lane. And again, look at this. This just... King Arthur's like, yeah, come on. Come at me, bro. Just, what in the world?
I would like to point out, in that last fight, the only reason that Shy missed his Thanatos ult was because Yanis portaled 2 of them. They went through the portal as Shy went down.
Oh, man.
It was the most unfortunate timing I've seen in a long time because he portaled as soon as he came down. It was that sucks.
So that stun and the massive amount of damage that Thanatos early game ult does was all negated because enemy decided to portal them.
And again, first tower is going to go down as we do have another fight here. The Persephone ult does come out. She is going to lock up Shy Appendix in that Thanatos. Goodbye. And that's going to be another kill picked up by All In. First tower does go down in the solo lane, though. As, again, another pickup in the mid lane means an objective secured, and the rotate's going to come out. I expect them to pick up this Fury without too much of an issue here. Although Rama is on the backside. So, but nope, he's going to get zoned away by the Nemesis. And I expect the Gold Fury to go in favor of All In.
Chino is shredding, man.
Yeah, wow, and there goes dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO the Gold Fury falling down. But man, that is absolutely crazy, as the kill is going to be picked up in favor of Boony Gang. 7-4 are kills, about a 4K gold difference, so item and a half. And it's primarily on, well, gonna be on the Persephone, and it's gonna be on the Nemesis. As that damage is going to come out, or sorry, as we take a look at our player damage. Honestly, the Persephone there, the Persephone damage has got to be those 2 ults that were she just absolutely hit the cage on every single time. She hit the cage.
Her one's already doing over like 450, 500 damage. It's absolutely nutty.
That is not fun. As Athena is going to get caught out, dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO the ult in response by the Cthulhu is going to get him out of the cage, and that is going to be a couple of ultimates drop, the Emoja ult as well. As we see the chase happening down mid lane, now it is 2-on-4 as the Nemesis is going to be able to do some damage. The King Arthur is there. The ult comes out onto the Thanatos. A good bit of damage, and that's going to be Shy Appendix falling down. Subkiller picks up another one as
Oh.
Athena coming down as well. Oh, NMR gets picked up by Animi, the shotgun coming through. Athena trying to deal damage, but you're just not there for that as Boomy is going to go down. The Cthulhu does fall eventually in the double kill. But come on, that is ultimately a 2-for-1 Boomy and Shy for the head of NMR. And again, all in, going in and picking up just a small advantage here and there. And again, they're about a 4K gold lead, but they do have the advantage in towers as the mid lane tower does fall. And they do have the advantage in kills 9-5. So 17 minutes into this one, taking a look at player damage, taking a look at builds right now. What are you expecting out of this? Is it going to be more of the same? Do you think the snowball is unstoppable? And what does Boony Gang have to do to kind of fight their way back into this one, Simple?
Sorry.
I think Boony's gonna have a tough time trying to fight their way back. Shy's gonna have to hit ults. I've seen a couple of times now. I've seen him hit 2 out of the 4 I've seen. I might have missed a couple, but he's gonna have to make sure he hits them and actually executes the ability to hit them and deal the damage that needs done from a jungler. And to pull, and they're gonna have to have massive amounts of peel for Chino and Any to sub off of them. That's gonna be the determining factor coming into the late game, the mid to late game. Is sub is going to run at you as we're seeing right now, and unless it's a 5v1 situation, which
like that one right there.
yeah, sub is going to completely disrupt your backline. It's not going to be fun for the backline if they don't have peel.
And the ultimates are coming out. The Rama ultimate, the Giannis ultimate, the Yamoja ultimate going to be used. Finally, dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO lot expended for one kill. Now the chase is going to happen in the mid lane. Chernobog is going to be able to dodge the stun by the Emoja, but that is going to be the knock up, the hit by the Cthulhu, and ultimately Enemy is going to pick up a kill in the mid lane. But yeah, again, the Nemesis is there. King Arthur running at people. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen. He did run into 4 people and still survived.
Wait, you're surprised that King Arthur survived running into 4 people? There needs to be at least
I take
10.
that back. I should be surprised Subkiller running into 4 people as King Arthur.
That man is a brick house. I tell you
Oh, as
what.
the Thanatos ult coming up. Ooh, Persephone does pick up a beautiful one, and that's going to be 1 kill and a response by Enemy. So Coda is going to fall. Rapid did fall as well. So Umoja going down, the Persephone going down. And that's going to be it. It is a 1-for-1 as Rama very, very low, as is NMR, splitting off and trying to survive rather than getting picked off at this time. And again, that Giannis pick is showing its teeth once again. 4-1-2 in Nimi on the Giannis, working effectively, and he's going to head on back. He's been slowly rising in player damage, but I'm amazed. I really like the one that's really stepped up, and that is Chino on this Rama, 14k player damage.
I called that early game, by the way.
He did. He definitely did.
But what we've seen so far, the fights are lasting, and this is in Boony's favor. So the fights and the sustain game from Boony, because they have heals across the board. The fights and the sustain game from them, it's actually working into their favor that these fights are lasting so long, because they're actually healing up through the fights, and then All In's just taking the poke, and they can't keep up with it. I know it's just a little bit of healing from the emoji, or a little bit of healing from the Cthulhu ult, or a little bit of healing just from Shy, but that all matters due to the fact if you're chasing into their Phoenix and they're chasing you all the way back down, they're full health by the time they get back to your T1.
Yep.
And you're not.
Yep.
And your team's not. So, with that being said, these extended fights are in Boony's favor. And if they keep doing it and they keep chasing kills, which All In seems to be doing a lot of, it's not gonna. That's actually going to be the difference.
And it looks like we
in
have
the
another
Boony
team
team
fight
fight.
breaking out as well. The Persephone is going to get a kill. There goes the King Arthur ultimate as well. Yamoja and Cthulhu as well as Thanatos looking for the pickoff. Persephone looking low. Thanatos isn't going to be able to get there though, as Coda will eventually fall. Chino does fall on the backside. NMR is going to pick up Rapid, so that is the Yamoja down as well. But dOOOOOOOOOOO's going to fall eventually. That is a 2 for 2 when all is said and done. But sides have flipped, which means they got to run through each other to try and get back to their home camp. Unless, well, like Cthulhu here, oh, as the turnaround's going to happen, but BonzaiJoe is going to fall, and that's going to be the only way he is going to be able to make it back to his fountain as Grayscale. And that is going to be one dead Chernobog. Oh, as NMR is going to pick up Shy Appendix on the backside, so that 2 for 2 becomes a 3 for 3. And now the dash out by the Cthulhu is going to miss the Nemesis. The shotgun's going to eventually hit, though, as a Nimi. Are you joking? And Nimi picks up kill number 5, and he is on a rampage. That is a 5-1-5. Giannis in the mid lane.
That's
And again,
that's
as you
another
were saying-
extended fight. That's another
Yeah.
extended fight that was just in their favor. Like
And
they're
look at how much health the Cthulhu has already. He was
Well,
down
yeah.
to like 1 HP, and now he's back up to almost half health.
Well, I don't know if you could necessarily say it was an extended fight in their favor, because Yamoja was the first to fall in that fight. So they could not heal up during that fight.
Shy was just constantly healing throughout the entire fight. If you saw, Shy hit the Shy went over to the purple buff and actually hit the purple buff and gained back 3/4 of his health. So he came back into the fight from 1 shot to 3/4 health.
Mm-hmm. I will say, looking at builds, I kind of wish Shy went a little more defensive, because he was down 3 levels going into that fight. So I would like to see him go a bit more defensive and embrace that alt bot mentality, where he just ults in, and his scythe still does tons of damage with just the Jotuns and the Hydras. So I would love to see him go, like, I don't know, shifters into a mantle net instead of this Heartseeker, I'm assuming he's going to be. But obviously he feels he needs to be doing more damage in these fights.
Yeah, I would agree on that one, especially with the effectiveness that the Thanatos ult gives you, the stun that it gives that allows the team to kind of lock down. And again, what was All In doing in the first game? All In was very, very good at locking down and then getting the follow-up. Now, what's Boony Gang doing? Getting the lockdown, getting the follow-up, getting the Cthulhu in there, getting the other CC in there as, ooh, we have the emoji ult coming out, and Boony Gang is going to pick up the Oni Fury as the King Arthur's got to dash away, and the Cthulhu ult coming out on the backside. That is going to be a lot of damage on the Cthulhu, though. He eventually is going to fall. BonzaiJoe picking up that kill. Thanatos is here, but Coda's going to fall as well. That's going to be a 1-for-1. Bonsai's going to get killed by Chino. He's going to pick up 3 now as dOOOOOOOOO's going to go down, and Subkiller as well. That is a 4-for-1. Boomy going down on the Cthulhu allows for 4 kills onto All In, and that's going to be a tier 2 tower falling in favor of Boony Gang.
It looked like a rough team fight at first because they were 2v4 at Gold Fury with Cthulhu ult popped. So Cthulhu got just absolutely mollywopped because the Nim was just setting autoing. The Chernobog, they just got a free cast on the Cthulhu, and there was no back pressure because they were heading. That was a lack of communication. But then the follow-up happened with the Yawn Assault, and they were just, and then they followed through. That was absolutely a beautiful play by Boony.
Yeah, and it didn't look like it was going to be that way. It did not look like that was going to be an
It didn't
effective
start off
thing.
well at all.
As did NMR go a camp too far, as the Nem, again, does have great movement, but here comes the Emoja. The Thanatos is on the backside. He is going to go up, and that is going to be a Yemoja ult used. The stun is going to be immune, as is the Thanatos ult. That now is going to be turned, and here comes the Chernobog as well. The taunt going to be used. Yemoja getting chased down by 3. The autos finally land. BonzaiJoe is going to pick up a kill onto Rapid Carnation, and that is going to be a 1-for-0 pick in favor of All In. And here's the interesting thing. Remember we were saying last game about how All In had this lead, had this advantage. Boony Gang now has the advantage in kills and has a 200 gold lead. And Fire Giant started up. Who's going to get this one? It's going to be All In. And they are going to have the Fire Giant buff now. But what is the price that they are going to pay, as the Chernobog is going to have to use his Aegis to try and get out of this one. And he's going to be effective in doing that. The disengage, the peel comes out. And that is going to be a safe Fire Giant. And all 5 will have the buff. As, maybe not, as the Thanatos is going to show up. But he is going to use the ult to try and get out. He doesn't have anybody to land on, so he's going to try and get onto the wave to heal up a little bit more effectively. Oh, that Persephone one. Are you kidding me? Everything that Thanatos just gained by landing on the wave instantaneously disappeared with that Persephone ability.
It's going to be hard for them to take 2v2 engagements or even 3v3 engagements, because with the global ult presence that All In had, or for Boony to take them engagements, because with global ult presence that All In has, like you saw in the right lane there with the Emoja and the Thanatos on the King Arthur and the Nemesis, that chasing that 2v2 engagement turned into a 4v2 engagement just due to communication. It was immediate. They're on me. Hey, Athena ult. Hey, Chernobog ult. Immediate. So there was 4 people there instead of 2, and then that turned the fight and got them the Fire Giant. They're gonna have to more of a group up fight. The group up team fights that Boony has had are amazing. Their
Speaking
2v2,
of
their
which-
3v3s are bad.
Speaking of which, here it comes again. The Emoja ult is going to be used, and that is going to separate out 2 members of All In. Athena is going to take a lot of damage and slow. The Thanatos ult coming out as the execute is not being shown anymore, but the Thanatos ult is going to be used onto the Nemesis, picked up on the backside. But Thanatos is going to go down. Subkiller getting another one, as Yemoja is going to be the focus here. And Rama getting out a little bit too much. What's going to happen? The disengage. As they are not getting... Boony Gang is not going to stick around here for that one. And they're saying, well, we didn't get the pick. The Thanatos ult didn't get us what we wanted. We're just going to cut our losses, and we're just going to go away. 1 kill instead of more. But now they're going to siege around this Phoenix, and that was a Cthulhu that just got deleted. Bye-bye. See you later, Boomy. Have a fun on the grayscale screen. And now that looks like it's going to be a Phoenix falling, as there's only 3 members left for Boony Gang here. Take that back, make it 2, as Chino's going to fall as well. The Rama's going down. It is a 5-on-3, but that is dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO Tepid Carnation around as Shy Appendix is going to finally spawn again. The Thanatos is here, and that is going to be a tier 2 falling. The Thanatos is up in the sky right now. The ultimate coming down. dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO response kill as the Emoja ult comes out. They are going to run away, and All In is going to look for, I'm guessing, this Primal Phoenix, or sorry, this Primal Fury over in the left-hand jungle here. They're going to pick up the red buff on the way there, but I can't see them passing up the Phoenix here.
I think Shy is still playing in Season 7. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh man.
See his build?
Yeah, I see his build.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so
Sledge is no longer a good item. I mean, it's just too it's non-cost effective anymore. It's too costly, and it doesn't give you enough stats to compete with other items, as in shifters, as in void, as in there's so many better hybrid items. So
yeah,
that
Sledge
pick-
only gives
that-
you 40 physical power, 150 mana, and 20% crowd control reduction. But with the amount of crowd control that's coming out, that 20% isn't going to mean much. And to be honest, he's just going to get run down. With a King Arthur and a Nemesis, he's just going to get run down way too often. He needs something that's going to be able to keep him alive.
if he was going to go a defense item there, he should have gone void or a shifters, or if he's already built a glass cannon build, so he just
No.
needed to go full glass cannon.
And the blink for blink, as I just said, yeah, he gets run down by the Nemesis there. Oh boy, yeah. I mean, Shy, it was a comfort pick. You did say he was a comfort pick, but I think he was a little bit too comfortable. Oh, as the ults come out, one after
Turning a
another
fight
after
again.
another. And here we go. But on this one, it's 4v4. We don't have the imbalance that we had previously, but Cthulhu is going to take a bit of damage there on the back side. As minions are at the Titan right now against Red Side, against Boony Gang. And that is a big wave. That is a big wave. Not enough, obviously, to take the Titan down, but that is enough to be a little worrying, as it is about a quarter health, and the empowered Fire Giant is going to be dropped here. I assume no. They're going to have to back off, as both the Rama and Yamoja are here. Ooh, Cthulhu on the back end. Are we going to have the collapse down, as Chernobog's going to try and force this fight? Chino does go down. Coda picking up that one. The Thanatos is here. He's going to go on to the execution against dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO 1 so far. Make it 3 for 1 as Shy Appendix going to go down, and that's Coda picking up a triple kill. Timmy, that is not fair! As through the wall, he picks up the Chernobog, and that is ultimately going to be a 3 for 2.
Wait.
On, man.
How did he hit him twice? Did he hit him with the one ball, and Bonsai walked into the connection, so he got hit with the second ball too? Because I heard it hit him twice.
I think he got Soul Gem Brock.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to watch it back. I swear I thought I heard the sound effect twice that he got hit.
Oh, man. Now,
I
the
think
Fire
that was
Giant
Soul
is
Gem
going
Brock.
down pretty quickly, but is dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO Subkiller, NMR, and Coda going to get the Fire Giant buff here, as Pyro is going to go down very quickly. And that's going to be it for the objectives on this right-hand side, as the Phoenix has respawned now for Boony Gang on the left. They're going to push out that wave just a bit as the reset's going to happen. Everybody's going to come back into the game as Grayscale is no more. And let's see what's going to happen here as 3 Fire Giant, empowered Fire Giant buffs onto the side of All In. And we're starting to hit that cap, that 20 level cap across the board for all sides. Gold difference, though, in favor of All In, 8K is still very effective as we're hitting full builds, but I'm guessing pots are going to be coming out next, and it's going to be something that you're going to have to look at, as all of your runes are going to be upgraded, all of your other stuff is going to be upgraded. We're starting to get down to parity here, and now it's going to be a skill fight. And to be honest, the 3 that you need to look at right now are the Nemesis, the King Arthur, and the Athena. And there they are.
How tanky the King Arthur is, and he has no magic. He's got 30 magic, or he's got base and 30 magical procs.
Yep, as Boomy's going to go down, that is going to be a rampage for Coda there. He's just going to start the King Arthur's just going to start WPing at people. Ooh, Nemesis going to be picked up on the back end. NMR going to go down to Shy Appendix. As Athena's going to blink in, that's going to be a ult used by the King Arthur. Goodbye, see you later. Shut down onto an Enemy. And let's see what happens here. If they can pick up this Thanatos, is this going to be enough to end the game? As it is ultimately a 3-for-1 right now, as the Titan is going to be started up. The Emoji is going to get hit. King Arthur is going to get going to W key into the back towards the Rama. Ooh, that is a lot of damage. Persephone smacking the Rama. He's going to have to go back into the fountain. He's going to ult from there onto the Persephone. Not going to be able to connect the arrows. And that is going to be just enough time for all in to reset. King Arthur going to get tossed back in, but Yamoja, not enough damage there as the heals. Look at the healing numbers coming out. Subkiller, come on, man. And he is just going to heal right back up, and that is going to be half health again for the King Arthur. Are you kidding me?
Look at the healing done. Just saying.
Look at that Yamoja.
Yeah, the Emoji does heals, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most effective thing on her kit, but look at the the King Arthur, man. Oh.
Well, he's got enhanced, and he's got Gaia, and he had Gaia proc. So he's regaining all of his health between team fights. That's
Chino's gonna go down again. That Persephone ult coming out, being effective once again. Oh man, just
Chino
disgusting.
has kept this game underway with the amount of damage he has done. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean 6, 4, and 5, 45k player damage. We're starting to get weird numbers now as we are 38 minutes into this game. Phoenix down to half health, but there goes Boomy once again. That is a 3, 7, and 11. Oh, a 3, 7, and 11 Cthulhu as a 5, 11, and 7. Thanatos is also going to go down. There goes Enemy as well. That is 3 for 0. Make it 4 for 0. And that is going to be one dead Titan if the Emoja can't stall out. And she's not going to be able to, as 5 members strong is going to take down the Titan. And that is going to be a 2-0 victory for All In here in the first set of week number 2 of the Quacken Smite League.
That was a good game. That was a lot closer than I early predicted. It was a very good game. I saw Sub get his King Arthur. I'm like, this is gonna be a sub. That's gonna be a sub game. But
and here's
they controlled it really well.
Sub, even on that King Arthur, went 7, 2, and 15. That's no more than what the Chernobog did at 3, 5, and 15. But I'm looking at the Nem and I'm looking at the Persephone, and to be honest, my MVP of this game has got to go to the Persephone. The ability to hit those ultimates, to get the cages, and to just be smacking for damage over and over and over again, as 36k player damage leads the way for All In. But I gotta say, I'm giving it to the one who had the victory. But if it was just for playing for players' sake, I gotta give it to Chino, man. 45k damage, 6, 4, and 5, and he single-handedly willed that team to play as long as it did. I mean, maybe it's just me, but Chino was so effective on that Rama, and you said, Simple, before that it was a comfort pick for him, and he did look very comfortable towards the end of that game. Looking around though, dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO able to ult across the map and be just there when he needed to be. But overall, looking at things right now, I mean, and again, the emoji healing 12k. Just what in the world? But that's what Emoja does, right? That is exactly what Emoja does. Anything you'd like to add, Simple?
I think Simple's AFK. But someone who's not AFK is yours truly, Raptor. And we got BonzaiJoe, captain of All In, here for an interview.
How's it going, guys? As my roommates bang on my door as I try to do this interview. Hello.
Alrighty.
Yeah, they're yelling at me. Anyways,
You need to get some more love there with, like simp for bonsai, because we're getting too many simp for subs in the chat here. We need to have a little bit more, we need to have a little more, bonsai love. As congratulations on picking up a win here, 2-0 against Boony Gang. So give us your thoughts in the first game. We're going to start in the first game before we get with what you just did. But in the first game, what was going through your head, especially during that draft?
Yeah, through the draft, we were just kind of playing our game. We were just kind of we weren't really we were just picking more comfort picks. You saw me on the Heimdall, NMR on the Nemesis, Jack on the Sobek, all comfort, right? We were just kind of picking our comfort, trying to feel ourselves out together, and then enemy team, holy crap, oh my god, CC everywhere. The RDO, the Fenrir, the Cupid, the Raijin. It just, it was unbelievable how much CC they had on that team. The Guan Yu even. Like, every single god on their team had so much CC. So we had to play around it. We had to be careful. If we were out of position, we were screwed. And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we made sure to keep our positioning right, keep the gods that we selected a little bit more available to CC immunity as they were picking that, especially with me picking up my Heimdall either last or close to last. I don't quite remember exactly where we picked it up, but I just thought to myself, man, like, I need the CC immune ult. I need the ability to get out of that Cupid ult. I need the ability to get away from a Fenrir when he ultimately will gank me. So we just kind of counterpicked as it went on, but kind of stuck with what was comfortable for us.
Now, as that game progressed, you sort of saw the slow snowball effect happen. Was it originally your game plan to just let Subkiller go absolutely bonkers? Or was it more that's just kind of how the game progressed, and so we're just going to feed the monster as it goes?
I think that was more kind of how the game progressed. It was really fortunate that he played really well early and got a great early game lead in terms of levels. I don't even think Boomy House played that bad into him. I thought he even game 2 on the Cthulhu, I thought he played pretty well, but game 1, NMR was all over him, all over his jungle, getting all the back camps, pushing him back, forcing him to play too safe. He was just a little too low on levels later in the game, and that was where the advantage was that we took. It wasn't even in kills. It wasn't even in gold. It wasn't like Subkiller was 15-0 2 minutes in. That wasn't it. It was just a slow burn. Now, the biggest thing that I want to talk about in game 1 is our team fights. You saw a couple around the mid lane where enemy was just over the wall free casting on us. It was unbelievable the amount of damage he was able to do on us without us even realizing it. We took that, we adapted our gameplay, and did you see that Phoenix fight at the end? Multiple blinks on any, multiple abilities focused on any. He was dead. He can't free cast. That's a large portion of their damage gone. So we just wiped through, got the rest of the team, took the Phoenix, took the game. Really clinical from my boys. And I could not have asked for a better way to adjust mid-game.
I do have a second question that's kind of a follow-up and kind of goes along those lines. In game 1, we saw ChinoDelRay went 0-7 on the Cupid, but he still was out leveling you. I think at one point he was like 3 levels ahead of you, and I think by the end of the game he was only behind you by like less than 1,000 damage. So he was still doing work despite being 0-7. Was it your game plan to camp him and make sure that he can't do anything? Or did it just kind of happen when you fell behind?
Not even necessarily was it our plan to camp him. I didn't really think NMR spent that much time over in right lane. I think the issue with Cupid late game was that we were doing such a good job of focusing out their targets, Enemy and Chino. We did a really good job of getting rid of them in those late game fights that he ended 0-7, but it never really felt that way. Yeah, we got some good kills on him early. We got some, but we never really had the pressure, especially early game on the Heimdall. It's a little tough not having as much auto attack speed as most other carries in the game. But, you know, he had a lot of the pressure. He had gotten that mid alpha harpy quite a bit. And that's why he still had the level lead on me. Game 2, you want to know why he had the lead on me? It's because he bought Gilded Arrow. That thing, if you play like the way that Cheeto and I played in both games, where we just sat there and farmed for 25 minutes, Gilded Arrow is going to get you so much of a lead over anyone who buys Cowl or Death's Toll. So, yeah, it turned out that he got that big gold lead on me that didn't really matter later on in the game, but if they had snowballed and won game 2 early, like, having that death toll would have been a huge portion of that. Or having the Gilded Arrow would have been a huge portion of that. I was the one with death toll, my bad. But yeah.
Simple, do you have anything to add for game 1 here?
That was a beautiful set. That was great competition between both teams. Both teams actually showed their star players, showcased their star players, played around them very well. Just great teamwork between both teams. I really enjoyed watching. There's a couple things both teams need to work on, as you guys already have laid out. Other than that, it was just a really fun set to watch. Me and Red had great time casting it. I had a great time casting it. So I look forward to seeing you guys play again.
Yep. As we shift our focus over now into game 2 here, as you guys have just played this one, we still have a little bit of the stats up on the board, but can you walk us through? Again, were you trying to go more comfort picks here? As we definitely see Subkiller on the King Arthur, NMR's back on that Nemesis. Even though NMR wasn't exactly effective on the Nemesis the first game, very much so here on the second game. A lot more into it. But was that more just because of team comp and what you were going up against, or is that more you kind of hit your groove in the second game?
I definitely think we kind of hit our groove. NMR on the Comfort Nemesis, as you said, really found the pressure early, really kind of got into Shy's jungle. We know Shy is really strong in that Thanatos. We were very, very hesitant to give it to him because of how he has performed in the past on it. So NMR's thoughts in that game were to find somewhere to take a lead off of, which he found, he got a really good early gank on enemy in the mid lane, and then took that lead into kind of the solo area, and then started to really focus those back camps and try to take away a lot of Shy's farm, because I know NMR wanted to keep him down, especially on a comfort pick like the Thanatos. Chino, another comfort pick on Rama. He is really good on that, does a lot of damage no matter what. That boy was hitting late game, like holy crap. It felt like he was hitting harder, and he surely was. Him and I sat there and farmed for a while. As I said, 25-minute farm games, lasted pretty much the whole time. But in terms of picks, I wasn't sure what I wanted to play. I was holding out on Hunter till the end because I wanted to see what they were going to pick. And then when we had we had to pick both of our last two at the same time, and I was like, I've been practicing the Cherno recently. Why don't I try it? And we thought to ourselves, well, they have the global alt in Giannis. They have a long range alt in Thanatos, a long range alt in Rama. Why don't we match it with a Chernobog alt and an Athena alt? So we picked those at the same time to kind of synergize together. At the end of the day, I thought Jack still played really well on Athena, even though his numbers didn't quite show it. He did get executed by Shy quite a bit late game. He was not happy about that. But yeah, I thought he played a really solid game. We didn't quite get the early lead, early kills that we did in game one out of the duo lane. And it turned into Chino being big late game. But through mid, through jungle, through solo is where we won game two for sure. If you want to look at early game, but when you look at late game, we had a few fights, especially around mid lane, around Gold Fury ish, where I mean the one is so obvious where I ulted and dove. And then NMR dove with me and Subkiller dove with me. We killed, I think it was the Yamoja and Rama on the back line, and then we turned around and we went, "Hey, how you guys doing?" As Akoda and dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO oh, that positioning was less than ideal. So that is what we wanted to fix up in game 2. It all came down to our team fight positioning. It all came down to mid-game changes that we made to team fights. We had to think about what we did wrong, fix ourselves, and I thought that we did. I thought those late-game team fights were a lot more strategic, a lot better positioned, especially by me. All right, listen, when you pop a Chernobyl ult, it's very easy to yeet yourself into the enemy team. But
as a carry myself, I know exactly what you're talking
As a
about.
carry
Your
myself, I know
position-
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
yeah.
your
Simple's a solo.
position,
He doesn't know
and
what
then you
we're talking about.
instantly are out of position.
Yeah, but I tell you what, we took a look at that fight and we went, we did the exact same thing that the enemy team did, but they did it better because they have a Cthulhu, they have a Thanatos, they have a Giannis. That is just so much damage that we have to stay grouped. We have to stay more disciplined in those team fights. So, after that, we got our Sunder. We focused Nemesis ults on the Cthulhu. We sundered the Cthulhu. As soon as he popped ult, he was dead. We wanted him dead. And then from there, we focused the Rama. We focused the Giannis. I mean, Giannis is so hard to kill. He got away constantly. So, we just tried to catch people out of position who we could find out of position and go from there. But every time they tried to dive, we needed to punish. And I thought that we did that really well later in that game.
All right. Well, you just answered every question I could think of for the past 6 minutes. So, Red, Simple, got anything to add before we go to announcing our MVPs?
Simple, would you like to start?
I think I really, as I already said, I thought we were just talking about the whole set. I just kind of jumped ahead, but
Pay
man,
attention.
that the only thing that I really saw that was confusing throughout the entire games between both of you, a little bit. We had a second game. We had a first pick, Nim. Okay. We get all the way down to bottom picks. I don't know if it was a comfort pick. I don't know what it was, but we picked Cthulhu. So I don't know what happened there, but that was kind of an iffy situation, which it ended up working out, which I was happy to see a little bit. But other than that,
You're talking to the wrong guy. You're talking to Bonsai, the Boomy picked up.
I'm just saying. I'm
okay.
going through both teams. That was a little bit of an iffy pick, but the Bonsai's team worked very well together and coordinated when Cthulhu popped ult, like over that Gold Fury fight. That was a turn for was actually a turn for the Boomy team because they melted the Cthulhu. Red literally said, "Hey, Cthulhu popped ult. Oh, Cthulhu's dead." Like it was just that instant. Yeah, your team fight was just so coordinated. Hey, this Cthulhu pops ult. This Cthulhu dies. It was just that was one of the beautiful things to see in that game. But other than that, it was just awesome game to watch. So I really enjoyed it.
All right, Red, got anything to add before we announce our MVPs?
Yeah, this is one of those games where, to be honest, it didn't really fit my style of playing, where I was looking for that front to back, good team fight, just the clear cut, this is how we're gonna do things. You guys truly lived up to your name, Bonsai, where you guys literally went all in. You guys were just diving. The WPs on Subkiller, NMR, and dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO because that's all you guys were doing. You were literally just running at people. But it was effective. You were turning team fights from 5-on-5 to 4-on-5, 3-on-5. When it wasn't working, though, when an ult was missed or an ability was missed, you did see that Boony Gang was actually very effective at punishing that too. Shy was able to pick up a couple of kills on the backside, especially late game against dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO into 5-on-4s. And Chino was able to kind of step up and catch a couple of you guys out as well. And then, of course, Animi was just being Animi because he does Animi things. But seeing how you have very talented players relatively coordinated on one team, you can see an effective cohesion on the other side. And I thought that's really one of the keys to your victory today, was that there was an effective cohesion. I really liked seeing the coordination between dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO the ults, coming in, knowing that they're going to dive, knowing that somebody's going to go in, and being there when he was needed. Again, it's a testament where, yeah, okay, his numbers might not be what you would like to see, but 22 assists is still nothing to sneeze at as an Athena. And him being able to do that in the second game, it was really fun to watch. Now, him on that Sobek in the first game too was also really fun to watch, just seeing him dash at people all stinking game long. But it was real fun. It was a great game to watch. And to be honest, even though the snowballs kind of got out of hand later on, there were so many times where you could point out 10 minutes in, 12 minutes in, especially in the first game, where a couple of missed abilities or a couple of picks that didn't go your way, and it could have gone the other way. The games were still very, very close, and it just took those advantages, those little advantages over and over and over again to finally get the victory for you guys. But I want to congratulate you, Bonsai, on a good victory, and let's go over to our MVPs, shall we?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Red Sniper. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Great game, Bonsai. Great game.
Great
Thank you.
games.
All right. So as we move on to our MVPs, let's start with Simple. Since he's been the quietest, I'm sure his voice box is yearning to talk. Who would you put as your MVP? Not just for game one, because I believe you put Subkiller as your MVP for game one. Who would be your MVP for game two, and then for the overall set?
Well, my MVP for game one was definitely Sub. His Achilles gameplay was absolutely immaculate. My MVP game two, it's got to be NMR. The reason being is the jungle presence he had, and to put Shy down on his comfort pick like that, that's Shy's god. Shy's god's Thanatos. And to put him down on his comfort pick like that it's got to be NMR. That's just my personal preference. And then the set MVP is got to be Subkiller. just because of both games just performed and WK'd and brought more. Every time you thought he was gonna die, he got out with no health. He got back into the fight after he healed up with Enhance, just kept running at him. There was no stopping that man. But that's my MVPs for this set.
All right, Red, your turn. Who's your MVPs?
I would definitely agree. Subkiller in game 1. Just he became that solo-headed monster that just was unkillable. And in game 2, oh man, this is a tough one for me because listening to Simple, I like the NMR pick, but I kind of want to give it to somebody who is sort of an unsung hero on this one. Subkiller was great. NMR was awesome to put down Shy, but I kind of want to give it to dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO flexible enough that allowed Subkiller to do what Subkiller wanted to do, and NMR to be able to have the support in those team fights to make sure that NMR was able to disengage. To be honest, though, honestly, I think I want to give it, and I know this is going to be controversial, but I want to give it to Chino for this reason. Chino is the reason that was a 40-minute game. If
Completely agree with that.
If Chino did not play as well as he did, especially with the machine gun at the end, where he is just laying down arrow after arrow after arrow, if he doesn't play that well, this game's over in 25 to 30 minutes, without a doubt. But
Completely agree with that.
Him getting the kills, him being able to zone away by himself sometimes, even though he was end up getting picked, even though he was end up getting dove, you know, he was sort of on the back end of a lot of those fights. You know, Boomy had already gone down, Shy had already gone down. You know, Rapid might have been a little bit out of, you know, off to the side a little bit, and then, you know, he ends up getting picked off. But if it wasn't for Chino and it wasn't for him trying to stand and fight where he had to be, it's not that he necessarily should have been there, it's that he had to be there. And I think he was effective in that. And I got to give my second game MVP to Chino. Now for the set, I gotta agree. I gotta go with Subkiller. Overall, I think Subkiller probably was the most effective in this game. And Amar was very, very good. But Subkiller, again, I keep saying it, Subkiller does Subkiller things. If he doesn't do Subkiller things, that snowball doesn't happen in the first game. If Subkiller doesn't do Subkiller things, he doesn't frontline effectively enough in the second game to allow NMR to be the monster that he is. He doesn't allow dOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO spamming abilities and smacking people into their own fountain. So I'm gonna give it to Subkiller as this set's MVP.
All right, and I guess that leaves me.
I just want to chime in real quick, Red Sniper. I don't think that's a controversial take at all to have Chino as your MVP for game 2. I thought he played really well, and as you said it, that is one of the main reasons why that game went so long. I thought he was an absolute fragger. All right, go ahead, Raptor. Sorry for interrupting.
All good, Joe. It's always good to hear your voice. I just wish I could hear Jeremy's too. Jeremy, please don't unmute. You're not supposed to be here. But okay, I'm sorry. Back to professionalism. So for my MVP game 1, I have to agree with you. Subkiller is the uncontroversial, undisputed MVP for game 1. He was incredible game 1, and same with the set. My entire set MVP is Subkiller. He just looked so good in both games. If I had to pick an MVP for game 2, though, I would actually have to give it to Enemy. And here's why. Chino did a lot in the late game. I will say this. Late game, for the last 10 minutes of that game 2, Chino was the MVP, hands down. But up to that point, Enemy was doing everything he could to keep All In from snowballing. He was doing so much. He hit multiple ults that changed a team fight completely or stole an objective. He was doing so much damage, taking out NMR and Bonsai on multiple occasions. And he was just doing so much. He is the reason that Chino was able to get to the point where he was online. And so, while I think Chino is the reason the game went to 40 minutes, Enemy is the reason they got to that 25-30 minute point. And so, for me, I have to give the MVP to Enemy in that game 2, just because he played that early game so well. It's really close between Enemy and Chino for me. But Enemy is going to be my MVP for game 2. Even though they lost, it feels bad, but I think it's really saying something when 2 of the 3 casters give the MVPs of game 2 to the losing team. That's just really saying a lot.
And I don't disagree with that pick at all, Raptor. I think Enemy did as much as he could in that early game. And I don't disagree with a word you said on that one. Kudos to Enemy as well.
For sure. Well, that is going to wrap up set 1. I keep stuttering whenever I try and say set 1. I do not know why.
Set 1 week 2.
Set 1 week 2 between All In and Boony Gang. It is a 2-0 All In win. And I cannot state enough how fun it was to watch these two teams play. It really was a blast of a set. And it's got me excited for the next 3 sets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great. I believe we have 2 sets scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday.
We have 2 sets scheduled for tomorrow, both at the same time. So
Yeah.
we are going to have to figure that out. If you are in the Discord, you will hear about it. Or not, you might just have to wait until one of them is streamed on the Twitch. Who knows? I don't know at this point. And I'm playing in one of the games. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what tomorrow's going to look like. But again, as far as tonight goes, it's all said and done. All In takes a 2-0 victory, even though it did not feel like a 2-0, if I'm being completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to do it. And on behalf of Red and Simple and Herc, who isn't here, I am Raptor.exe. Thank you for tuning in to the Quack and Smite League, and we will see you all next time.